it's Kathy, your Yogi mom, and today we'll be practicing a 30-minute prenatal sequence, and this one is to cultivate patience, which is very important in parenting. Would you agree? This is your second baby. And this is our friend Kelly. She's joining us again to help us demonstrate and be our model, and she'll be demonstrating the practice. She is 35 weeks along, so happy that you're here with us. Towards the very end, she's got about a month left, maybe a little bit longer than a month. We'll go ahead and start comfortable, seated on a blanket, and there's a blanket next to her. If you prefer to use a cushion, you can use a cushion as well, as long as you have something to lift you up a little higher, to sit taller and more comfortable in your seat. And then close the eyes, roll the shoulders back, and place the hands on the lap or on your knees. Tune into the sound of your breath. And as you listen to your breath, patiently allow your body to settle. Allow your thoughts to settle. Feel the weight underneath the seat. Feel the pressure underneath the legs as you ground down where you are. And come back to the breath again. So breathe deeply this time, expand through the belly, and you can even place the hands around the belly as well. Expand and open softly, bring the navel back. And on your next inhale, repeat that. Breathe deeply into the belly, lift the chest, broaden the shoulders, and then soften the chest, soften the ribs, and bring the navel back to the spine. Follow this depth in your breath. Breathe into the side body. And then continue to find your own pace as you breathe. Patience can be challenging in pregnancy and even after baby comes. It's hard, it's challenging to wait, especially when you want to see your beautiful baby or when you're almost at the end of your pregnancy. But patience comes when you let go of the outcome of the result and enjoy the moment, trust the process. Bring the hands to the heart. And set an intention today to practice patience, to open your heart and be kind to yourself. Allow your practice to unfold naturally. And then gently open the eyes. With the hands at the heart space, bring the fingers, interlace the fingers together, palms together. And on your inhale, bring the fist here, or the hands, underneath the chin. Inhale, press the chin up, look up, elbows down. And on the exhale, take the palms forward and round just in the upper back. Send the palms to the front, get into those tight spaces in between. Kelly was just mentioning how her upper back is a little bit tight these days. Inhale, take the hands up overhead, reach tall, stretch through the sides of the waist, and on the exhale, bring the hands back down. And we'll repeat that again using the breath. Inhale, take the fingertips underneath the chin, lift up, shoulders relax. Exhale, push forward, round in the back, just that upper back area. Press those palms forward, lengthen the arms. And then inhale, take the arms overhead, grow tall in your spine. Exhale, bring the arms down. One more round. Inhale, bring it up, reach, lengthen through the neck. Exhale, press forward, stretch in the upper back, shoulders forward. Inhale, extend up overhead. Exhale, stay connected to the breath, slowly bring it down. And now come over onto hands and knees to sit on the ankles. We can also use a block in between the legs here too, but you can sit on the ankles and maybe even put the blanket underneath the knees if you'd like, facing that way. Yeah. This is kneeling pose, and that's fine. We'll use Gomukhasana arms to open the upper back as well. So take that right elbow up overhead and place it right between the shoulder blades, the hand. It's away from the head. And then take the opposite hand and wrap it around the back of your waist. So we have this posture here. Now if you can reach and grab the hands, that's another deeper sensation. Take the elbow away from the head and lengthen up through the back of the neck. Feel the tricep here open in the front of the other arm, and especially in the shoulders. This is a good posture to do after baby comes as well, postnatal. There's so much rounding forward as mothers because we feed our babies, we carry our babies, and they're forward always in front of us. So take a few more breaths, maybe 2 more breaths, a couple more breaths in this posture. This is Gomukhasana, or cow face arms. We're not doing the lower half, just the upper half. And now release the hands, soften them down to the side, and roll the shoulders back. Roll the shoulders out. Good. Let's do the left. Balance out on the left side. So take the left hand up and over, elbow up towards the ceiling. The right hand around the back of the waist, or you can reach for those hands as well. If they reach, even better, that gets you some more opening in the front of the body. But either way, you'll be receiving the benefit of this posture, the opening of the front of the chest, the collarbones, the sternum. Keep that steady, deep breath. Couple more. And be mindful of your transitions today. So as you come out with the arms, release the hands, bring them down to the side. Do so slowly, gently, and roll the shoulders back. So try not to rush through the process or rush through the practice. We'll go ahead and come onto hands and knees now. Tabletop. And you could leave the blanket underneath the knees, space between the knees, press into the hands, and move through cat and cow, Bidhalasana. Send the belly forward, belly button forward, shoulders back, and look up at the ceiling. Stretch the front of the neck. On the exhale, round in the spine. Open up the upper back, just like we did at the beginning with our warm-up. And then inhale, release once again with the belly. It's a gentle rocking motion. Inhale, exhale, round the spine. And hopefully that'll get into this tight spot that she was talking about. I had a lot of that when I was expecting to. This upper back was what was most tender for me. Some people experience lower back, but either way, this posture is very helpful to open all those areas of the spine. And we'll take one more round. Inhale, soften the belly. Exhale, round the spine. Now come back to neutral. Extend, lengthen the neck in alignment with the tailbone, and open the knees wide to make room for your belly for child's pose. Knees wide, big toes touch. Sit back into the heels and lower down. You can place your head on the floor or stack your hands or your fists underneath the forehead to give you some more space underneath. She feels really comfortable low to the floor, but as belly gets bigger, sometimes there is more space underneath you, or you'd like some more space underneath you, so you can always grab a block or your hands underneath the forehead. Now I'm gonna give her a little bit of a massage, some love here to release. Stay with the breath. 3 more deep breaths in and out. Being patient with the body as it opens up without force. And on the last breath, come back up into tabletop position. Bring the knees underneath the hips, and you can move the blanket to the side as well. So we won't need the blanket for the next part, but you can come back onto hands and knees. Now legs open wide, feet and knees as wide as the mat. That's it, good, even wider, good. Curl the toes underneath, walk back to your knees and onto your feet for a deep squat. Place the forearms on the thighs. We just give ourselves a minute before we come up. We don't come up quickly. That'll prevent you from getting dizzy or lightheaded. And then take the hands to the hips, elbows up to the ceiling, and come up through a flat spine. Good. We'll build Tadasana here, mountain pose with the feet underneath the hips. Soften in the knees and relax through the lower spine. And find the structure of the back as you bring the belly button slightly in and soften. Here that changes the structure. There's not really so much of a contraction, but more of an awareness of where your spine is aligned. Open the chest, open the shoulders, relax the arms, extend through the back of the neck, and lift through the crown of the head. She has this beautiful long spine now posture. And this will really help her for birthing when you have this optimal posture through the day, not just in yoga, but it does help you to have baby in alignment for birthing. So go ahead and walk to the center of the mat and face forward. We'll do some sun breaths to warm up the body. So with third trimester, you'll open the feet wide, maybe as wide as your mat or a little bit wider, depending on how much space you would like. Take the hands up overhead, inhale, reach. On the exhale, bend at the knees, fold forward, and place the hands on the thighs or all the way down on the shins. On your inhale, lift halfway, extend forward, long neck, and then bend through the knees. As you exhale, inhale, take the arms out to the side, come all the way up, look up at the thumbs. Exhale, stretch over to one side, doesn't matter which side. One hand down and one arm up. Reconnect the hands and stretch over to the other side on the exhale. Side stretch, inhale, hands together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Arms down by your side, and we'll repeat that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, extend the spine, extend the back of the legs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way back up, reach, grab all that space around you. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale, hands connect. And exhale, stretch over to the side. Back together and hands to heart. Lower them down and we'll repeat that. Now just listen to the breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Pause with the hands at the heart. Come back to this intention of patience. Of accepting the moment as it is. Whatever parenting might bring to you, being open, not resisting the change that is coming, but instead embracing whatever happens. And place the hand around your baby, make that connection as well, say hello to your baby. And then bring the hands down to the side. So we'll face this direction towards me, Kelly, and hands on the hips. Take your right leg forward for a crescent lunge. So only a few steps forward with the right leg and then a few steps back with your left leg. Pick up the back heel and bend in the right knee. Lean forward a little bit to lengthen through that back leg and then come back so that the shoulders are over the hips. Really good. Navel is forward. This is a strengthening posture, so you'll feel it in the legs. And then that right knee is over the ankle. You can keep the hands on the hips, take them to the heart, or even overhead. But if that makes you a little bit dizzy or lightheaded, you can always bring the arms back down. And we'll stay for 2 more breaths here. And you'll feel the strength happening through the legs. Press into the big toe mounds of the feet. Hands come back towards the heart and to the waist. And now step your left foot to the center of the mat and the right foot to the center of the mat. And from here, we'll practice Utkatasana, chair pose. Hands at the heart, inhale. exhale, sit back as if you're sitting in a chair, and you can open the feet a little wider there. And we want to try to have the knees over the ankles, and won't go all the way up, but that's where we're moving to. Soften in the tailbone, hug baby in, and keep the hands there or send them forward in front of the shoulders. A little more awareness through the spine, so the shoulder blades come together slightly. That's it, good. Say hello to your legs, hello to your thighs, or feeling them with crescent. One last breath. Hands to heart, lengthen out through the back of the legs, and then bring the hands to the waist. So there's much more blood flow and warmth happening now. Take the left leg forward, right leg back, and lean into that left knee. Lengthen through the back leg, good. And now take your shoulders back, so they're right over the pelvis. You have this long spine, soft through the belly, soft through the tailbone, and the hands can stay at the waist, at the heart, or overhead. And we'll stay for a few breaths. And we're taking a holding approach with these postures, which means we allow for the body to open. We're not rushing through. We're usually trying to rush through our days and make everything hectic, but right now we're patiently practicing each pose. One more breath. Hands to the heart and down to the waist. And now bring one foot to the center and one foot back. Stand in Tadasana. Reintegrate the energy that's moving through you. And then soften the hands. Now we'll move to this wall space for what I call a wall sit. And there's a couple of options. We can, everyone's going to lean against the wall. And you can walk the feet out just a little bit, lower only about halfway down. So this would be a 45-degree angle. The next would be all the way down so that you're in a 90-degree angle. It's up to you. The knees over the ankles. And obviously, this is not a comfortable posture, but what we're doing here is trying to find, to train your mind is what we're doing for when you are feeling intense sensations, right? So one of the things that I say that's the easiest to do is to close the eyes and to tune into your breath. When you breathe slowly, your nervous system stays calm and you stay calm. So even though you're feeling something intense, you can work through it with your breath. And I'm only gonna leave you here for about a minute. So we're probably already 15, 20 seconds in. So you only have a little bit more to go. And just focus on that deep breathing in and breathing out. Now, contractions usually only last about a minute or a little longer, but there is space in between them. So this is the part that's strong, the sensation, the pressure. But your breath will keep you present. It'll keep you steady and calm. We have maybe about 20 seconds left, maybe 10. You're feeling it now, I'm sure. So hold on for just a little bit longer. Stay focused with your breathing pattern, your slow and steady breathing pattern. I'll stay for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up gently, press into the wall, and walk back, heels back, not all the way back, lean into that wall space. That's it, yes. Feel that support. So that is almost as if she's plugging back into the wall, getting her energy back. And it's really important to know that difference, that when you are going to birth your baby, you have these intense sensations, but you're also going to have spaces of rest. So to embrace both, right? The effort and the ease that comes with this natural process. So go ahead and come back to your seat here. We'll come back down to the floor. So actually, oh, she went down really quickly. That's good. No, that's fine. She did it really quickly, and we'll just move to the floor. But usually I'll take some time to come down to the floor. It's fine just so that nobody gets dizzy, but I think she was ready to come back down, which is fine. So let's go ahead and sit on the blanket. I'd prefer to have something underneath you. A cushion will give you some more space, but this next posture is called Gomukhasana. We did the arms. We're only going to do the lower half, and it's a good hip opener. So I'd like to start just like you are with easy seated pose. So we have one leg in the front, one leg in the back. The next option, if you want something more, is this Gomukhasana pose. You're going to take your leg, your top leg over and cross. So one leg underneath and one leg on top. In this case, yeah, there we go. And flex in the feet. Now with some extra space underneath you, it's easier to get into it. Now if you want even more, you'll take that leg all the way over, right? So that now the knees are stacked. But it really helps to flex in your feet and push into the big toes. That's going to protect the knees and the ligaments around the knees. Now, how does that feel for your hip, your top hip? You feel it? Good. Now you're facing a little bit diagonal, but it's fine. Does that make a difference? No? Okay, as long as you're feeling. Now belly is, right there. So you may be able to lean a little bit forward into it, or maybe not. It just depends on how much compression there is on the belly. And that will create more sensation as well in the top hip. You're feeling it there? Okay, good. So you can relax the hands over the legs or on the floor space. And remember that if this doesn't work, you can always come back to easy seated pose and do the same thing, lean forward. You'll still get a good hip opener in that top hip. Stay for 2 or 3 more breaths. Now shift back away from the floor, and we'll take this right leg out to the side in a half butterfly. So the left or your foot will be on the inside of the thigh, the other leg will be on the side as well here. And take the hands behind you to release in the lower spine, to open the inner knee, the inner groin area, and then open through the toes, lift the knee up. And if you feel comfortable there, stay there, or you can take the hands forward. Release through both hips. And then move to your comfort space. So for some of you, your arms would be extended. Some of you will stay seated tall. And like I've said before, every day is different in pregnancy, so every day you feel a little bit different. Follow those intuitive feelings right now. Let the body settle into it without forcing the stretch or pressing too much. That's easy to happen in pregnancy because you are more flexible in pregnancy than normal. Now take the hands back, walk them slowly to the hips, and extend your other leg out to the sides. Both legs out to the side, Upavista Konasana, or wide leg, forward fold. Knees up, toes up, and we'll start with the hands back as well. Lift the chest, open through the shoulders. Find the release in the lower spine and the hips and in the pelvic floor, or take the hands forward. It could be a slight bend forward, it could be a little bit deeper. The navel comes close to the floor, that's fine, as long as there's no pressure on the belly. And as you're holding these postures, notice if you begin to fidget or wander with your eyes. Keep your intention and your focus on what you're doing in the moment, your presence. And this will help you to cultivate patience as you stay with what you're feeling, your sensations. Now slowly press up with the arms, come back up to seated, and bring your legs a little closer. Take the hands around the knees and bring the legs a little closer together. So we'll start with that easy seated pose again on the other side. So we'll take that, for you it would be the other leg in front, the left leg in front, yeah. So we'll start here if you want to, or take Gomukhasana. So that means one leg on top, crossed over, and it doesn't have to cross away all the way over. This side might be a little tighter. But if you keep extending outward, the knees eventually will stack one on top of the other. Flex in both feet, press into those big toes, protect the knees, and stay tall or lean forward into it. The other option is to stay in easy seated pose and fold forward to also get the stretch in the hip. So it's the top of the hip here that we're stretching, also lower half towards the glute. Depending on what trimester you're in, you can probably fold a little bit deeper into it, but once belly becomes bigger and bigger, it's harder to fold forward, but that's okay. You could still feel the stretch in the hip. Make sure both sits bones are on the floor. Your breath is steady again and deep. Breathe into the back of the nostrils. Now slowly lift up. Come all the way up and take your left leg out to the side. Or whichever leg they're looking at, probably their right leg. So we'll take your other foot on the inside of the thigh. Open through the feet, extend, and find half butterfly with the hands behind you. Lift away from your seat. And then stay here or shift forward onto the hands, onto the forearms, onto the navel. Without any pressure on the belly, but you can let the belly slightly touch the floor. Slow, steady breath in, long breath out. Shift away from the floor, come back to your sits bones and extend both legs out now for one more Upavishta Konasana with the hands behind the spine, open or shift forward. So those are a couple options, and you can always change them. You don't have to do the same thing each time. You may feel more open the second time, the second chance around, so you can take it a little deeper if you prefer. Now slowly lift, extend, open the chest and come back to your seat. Take the hands around the knees and bend the knees, bring the feet close together. It's a deep stretch. You can bring the feet together like this. Yeah, and just windshield wiper one side to the other. And then come back to center for a gentle twist, easy seated pose. Have the palms forward, open, take one hand behind you, look over the shoulder as you twist and open up the spine. These gentle twists bring the body back to neutral as well, kind of brings everything back to homeostasis. They're good for the ending of class. And then bring the hands forward again and to the other side. Come back to center. And bring the hands to the heart for a deep breath. I'm going to help Kelly set up for Shavasana on her left side, and we'll leave her there resting. And if you have time for Shavasana, it'll be an excellent practice always afterwards to get that time to rest. So we'll take the blanket and another cushion. You can use a couple of cushions if you have some more, but we'll take the blanket and we'll use this cushion underneath the head. You can roll up the blanket so that she can hug the blanket, and we'll place this one right between the knees. So lying on her left side, make sure to have some support. It's like, yay, some support underneath the head, and then take the cushion between the knees. If you have even thicker cushion, even better, and then you could hug the blanket around. That's it, good. This is a great place to rest and stay. We'll leave you here, and you can enjoy this 5-10 minutes if you have all that extra time. But if not, we'll see you next time. Thank you. Namaste.